Hey everyone, welcome to this video where we're going to be discussing the power of the new ChatGPT canvas. Now, at first I thought this was just a gimmick and it was copying Claude and it wasn't that impressive. But there's a key difference between Anthropic artifacts, Claude artifacts, and ChatGPT's new canvas. Let's talk about it. So it's actually a lot more powerful than I at first thought. It almost feels like a co-pilot, and it's a complete game changer for one reason. Instead of having to regenerate every single time that you want to edit something, you can now edit something within ChatGPT itself. So it's almost like AI-powered Google Documents, which is completely nuts if you think about it. And this is a really good direction that they're going in here. They're obviously focusing on their front end because they feel like that's where they can compete. So it feels like a content creation tool of the future. And in this video, I'm going to show you 10 powerful use cases that you can use to grow your website using the new GPT canvas. So we're going to be doing this on some Harbor content. If you don't know what Harbor is my SaaS. It creates really good HTML content. However, there are still certain things that sometimes you will obviously want to edit. I'm not naive. I know that Harbor is not 100% perfect. There are still some things that people will want to change. But right now, if you don't know HTML, it's actually quite difficult to change the content. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on a Pia Margot article. We'll just do this one here, 6 stunning graduation dresses, 2024, Pia Margot's finest. And let's just see what the article currently looks like. Really, really nice article. Look at that. Bang, 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 bang. Beautiful, amazing. But let's see what we can do with this new canvas. So first of all, to get a canvas up, what you want to do is you want to say, embed this article into a canvas. Now, one really cool thing is that it's super quick. Like, look how fast this actually is compared to, okay, sometimes it does this weird buggy thing where it doesn't show up, but it should still be writing. I'm just going to stop this. I'm just going to do that again. So select it at the top here and then say embed this article into a canvas. See if that works. There we go. Right. So what this is doing, this is actually turning it into Markdown, which is less than ideal. Okay, it's not necessarily what I want it to do, but we can work with this because afterwards you can output it as HTML, or another option would be to take screenshots of like the data visualizations from Harbor, use these as screenshots, and then use Markdown with screenshots of data visualization. So you kind of have two options. I'm not really sure which one's best right now. This is something brand new. So let's have a look at my 10 powerful use cases. So one of the most painful parts of dealing with agency clients and with SEO content is edits. Edits are really, really annoying to do with ChatGPT, or they were, because every single time, even if you wanted to just change like this word here, right? To do this with ChatGPT previously, you would have to wait for it to regenerate the entire article. But instead, what we can do is, let's say that I wanted to add an internal link here, right? So I can ask ChatGPT and I say, add an internal link to the home page here with the anchor text, beautifully designed Spanish clothing, let's say, for example. So instead of regenerating the entire article, all it's going to do is regenerate that specific part of the article. So now it's so much easier, okay, to do edits. Let's say the client says to me, Hamish, you can't wear this to graduation, okay? Again, it's just an example. So you can't wear the Maya dress to graduation. So I say, okay, that's fine. Let's fix that. So first of all, we can delete the picture. That's now gone. Then we're gonna highlight this my address part, and I'll go to dresses on Pia Margot, and I'll say, oh, maybe this dress is a little bit more suitable for a graduation, right? So I'm gonna right click. Okay, you can't right click. I'm just gonna copy this like that, and we'll go back to ChatGPT, and I'll say ask ChatGPT, and I'll say replace the Maya dress with this dress, and then I'll give it the CDN link, Okay, so when you close that, it actually disappears. So let's open up a notepad so that we can write this prompt in one. Just please, sorry for all my notepads, guys. One day I will sort this out, I promise. So I'm going to say, please replace the my address with this address, and then we'll give it the link here. Give it the product link, and then we'll give it the information that it needs to properly create this, like that. And then we will send this to ChatGPT. Again, this is much quicker than it would have been previously, although it might not seem that way. It's now going to just edit this here. There we go. Beautiful. That is so helpful, honestly. That is honestly so helpful. You've got no idea. If you're not into editing content, if you don't edit content, you don't understand how big of a change this actually is. Because previously, you would have to say to Claude or ChatGPT, rewrite this article again, but change the sixth item to this. But now, instead of that, you can very quickly and very easily start to edit articles. And this is a huge time saver for us as an agency. So you can add images to specific places in articles, just like I did there. But let's say we want to add another image, right? So let's just, let's say, okay, we want this image as well. So we'll grab this image and we'll say, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know you could do that. Wow, you could apply a quick mention of the specific types of dresses and standout pieces available in the collection. That's pretty cool, actually. That's not what I wanted to do, but you can actually suggest edit. You can get it to suggest edits. Consider adding a brief personal touch or anecdote to make the introduction more engaging for readers. Amazing. So let's apply that. This isn't what I was supposed to be doing, by the way, but imagine walking across the stage feeling confident and radiant in a dress that truly reflects your personality and celebrates your achievements. Yeah, that's actually really interesting. You could emphasize how its versatility makes it a more valuable addition to a wardrobe beyond just one occasion. Interesting, because that's actually a really good suggestion. For both, making a more valuable addition to your wardrobe for many future occasions. That's really interesting. That's not actually what I wanted to do, but that is really cool that you can do that. So what I want to do is I want to add something specifically here. So I'm going to say, just before the conclusion, add this image. So let's see if I can do that. Amazing. So you can add images very, very quickly, very, very easily, just like that. And now we're really starting to get this article to look the way that we want it to. Now, again, I'm not saying that you would necessarily even have to do this with Harbor content. I'm just using this as an example because Harbor content is generally already pretty damn good. But let's say, oh, I want a specific graduation dress link. Oh, there is one there. So let's say we want a link to the Etienne dress here, right? There's no internal link here, so, and there should be. The reason for that, by the way, is because Harbor puts internal links on images for products, but that's fine. So we'll go back to Pierre Margot here. We'll look for the Etienne dress. There it is. We'll copy this. Get rid of that trailing question mark, just because I hate things like that. And then we'll say, add an internal link to the Etienne dress. So again, works every single time. This is super, super useful. It's really, really good, actually. The speed that it's doing it at as well is super important, because if you think about it, it normally takes quite a long time to edit something like this, but because it's so quick as well, honestly, this is an absolute game changer. This makes us a lot more versatile at the agency. So adding internal links or external links, let's say we wanted to add an external link to, I don't even know where you would add an external link necessarily. Let's say you want to add an external link to Wikipedia. So what is graduation Wikipedia? Right? Some people say, I personally don't, I've never really seen the value in it, but people do say that adding in external links helps. Probably not for a niche like this, but just as an example. Add an external link to Wikipedia to help build authority.
Again, you might say to yourself, yeah, but you could just do this on Google Docs. That is true. You could do this on Google Documents, but it adds the context, right? Because you need to normally now learn more about the significance of graduation on Wikipedia. But now you can just say add a link and it'll just add it immediately. So again, super, super powerful. Right, these are ones that I came up with at the bottom here. I'm going to say at the bottom, write me a meta description, which is SEO optimized for this article. So this is something that people have asked me to add to Harbor, but instead we could just do something like this. Where did that go? Oh, it disappeared. There it is. Right. So there's the meta description there. We now have a meta description. So this is something that a lot of clients will ask for. They'll say, can you give me a meta description? So now at the bottom of the article, you can generate a meta description and also generate a meta title for this article. Just use plain text and write meta title here. Okay, perfect. Again, we can just add this at the bottom. And now that's a much more completed article to deliver to a client. You can say, we recommend using this meta description and we recommend using this meta title. Creating a table of contents with jump links. So if we go back up to the top, I'm just going to highlight this and I'm going to say, actually, I don't think we need to highlight anything. I'm just going to say, add a table of contents with jump links for all headings in the article. Beautiful. So if we copy this and we'll go to HTML, Markdown to HTML. I haven't used this in a while, actually. If we click this now, it should go down, to the first title. If we click here, it should go to the conclusion. Perfect. So you don't even need table of contents anymore. You can literally just make your own using this. This will increase your the time on page and also the ranking, because if you keep people on the page for longer by giving them clickable things at the top, that will actually help increase your ranking. And then we've got one here. This is a really interesting one. Add a table of at the top of the article with all the product links, prices, and information, and also product image links just before the first heading one, the attain dress. So we can see here, this is now making a product comparison table. These are all options, by the way. I'm not saying you should do all of these to each article. This is really, really cool. You can just very quickly, very easily add a product table again without generating all of that extra, all of that article all over again. This now has really started to give the article a good shape. We can add an FAQ at the bottom. Before you do that though, what you can do is you can just do a search for something like what is the best graduation dress? And then you can just grab some of these right at the bottom here. And then you can say at the bottom of the article, add an FAQ section answering these questions. FAQ, there we go. Which best is dressed for graduation ceremony, the best dress, blah, blah, blah. This is, again, can help you rank on Google because you are answering these questions, right? So if you don't answer these questions, you can't rank for these questions. If you answer them, you can rank for them, and you know that they're being searched for because they're literally from a section of Google that tells you that they're being searched for, right? So it's a really, really strong way to do that. It then re-adds the conclusion, which is a really nice touch to this, because previously it would do things like remove sections that you didn't want it to remove, or it would add sections or whatever. But now what it does is it adds the new section and then adds the old section underneath it, which is super, super useful. And then a couple of really interesting ones here on the right. You can actually make articles longer. So if I just put longest here, what this is now going to do is rewrite the entire article and make the whole thing longer. It's going to keep the table of contents. It's going to keep the product comparison table. It's going to keep everything else that we've just done to it, but it's also going to make the article significantly longer. Now, I don't know how long we've been recording for. How long have we been recording for? Okay, so this takes 15 minutes, but if you do this to every single one of your articles, it's going to give you the best chance of ranking. Now, not necessarily making them longer. This is just something that people ask for a lot. I don't personally feel the need to make articles longer. I think articles, that are 1,000, 1,500 words are fine, but a lot of people do want longer content depending on the niche. So that is a really good way as well to just make content longer. And then the final one is you have the ability to also change the reading level, okay? So on the right here again, we can adjust the reading level. So let's say we want to make it a bit easier to read. So let's say middle school level. It's now going to rewrite the entire article at a middle school level, meaning that it will be easier to read, which again, people say, although I don't necessarily agree with this, that the easier the writing style, the longer people will read for because they don't feel overwhelmed by big words or whatever it might be. I personally don't agree with that. It's just, again, this is what, the tried and tested SEO knowledge says. I think that's going to be it, guys. That was quite a long video, but I really wanted to show how you can actually use this tool. Instead of just making a video where it's like kind of not really showing you use cases, but just showing you, a few tricks or whatever it might be, I really wanted to just give you some use cases for how you can actually use this to basically edit all of your articles. This is a very strong tool, mainly because it gives you the power to edit individual sections without regenerating all of the article all over again, which is incredibly time consuming when you have to do that 10, 15, 20 times a day. Just so you know, at the very end here, you can say output in HTML with all of the original data visualizations that were in the original article I sent you, but keep all of the other text the same as it is now. And this will probably, I don't know, 100%, it's giving me doc type here, which is not what I wanted. Remove doc type and other unnecessary HTML. This is going on to a CMS. So we'll just see this. Okay, it's not, you can do this, it's just, it's not working right now, but it would have done it here. It's just, it would have had the doc type, which I personally didn't want. But again, you can output it at the very end. It'll have the data visualizations from Harbor still inside it. And if you're watching all the way to the end of the video, guys, you're an absolute legend. And I'll see you very, very soon with some more content. Peace out. Watch this video if you have a niche website and you're looking for new ways to increase your affiliate sales.